亲有德。
To me, the promise of digital humanities was to have a way to deal with these very large numbers of relatively unknown texts. And I think that they can tell us a lot about some important things. They can tell us about the system of thematic genres that constitutes the Chinese novel. They can tell us about the relationship between local, regional, and national culture in late imperial China.
The development of Chinese piano music has gone through 100 years already. It is high time and necessary to review and re-evaluate the history of Chinese piano composition, identifying and selecting the excellent works that could represent Chinese value, pursuit, and artistic characteristics, so as to let the music circles and the cultural circles reach value consensus and let the late generations has clearer reference landmarks.
车音未到，上
抬
心
抬
去。
伤心处三个字的时候，不要有那么多的动作。啊，这个
In this
对
particular
对对对。
point of singing, that you need
无
to
情
be
看。
less in movement when you sing this particular part.
车音未到，上心去
就可以了。最后那个处的处的时候，把眼睛闭起来。
The last, when you say the last word, then you have to close your eyes.
在中国，这句话一般情况下是对男子汉大丈夫常用的一句话，就是他在这受到坎坷、受到迫害的时候，他就会有这句话，叫“丈夫有泪不轻弹，只因未到伤心处”。但是你想，林冲此时此刻，他怎么可能不到伤心之处呢？他已经到了伤心之处了，所以说他要把强忍自己的这个眼泪咽在这个肚子里面。他流的已经不是泪了，泪其实已经流干了，流不出来了，他流的是血泪，所以后面还有血泪洒征袍，类似这样的。所以说这里面不要有这些动作，这些动作它都会分散观众对你的这个凝视，就像雕塑一样的，啊。
No more additional movement when sing this part, because at that time this character is kind of reaching to the saddest point of his emotions. And then in Chinese culture, and when a man reaching the saddest point, then you will not cry. You will just suck up your tears internally, and then close your eye, and then try to stop the tears to come out.
昆曲里面有叫文戏武唱、武戏文唱的，叶贲应该说是一个武戏，但是为了塑造人物的时候，他必须是文唱。好，开始。这一味道啊，丈夫有泪不轻弹啊，弹了弹再出来，丈夫有泪不轻弹。
车音未到，上心。
眼睛是，味道上左边，
So first
因
go
为
to the left.
观众是在全部，所以说你这个时候一定要带着观众，告诉观众左边的，
First
右
look
边
to
的
the audience left.
回到
and
中
then
间，
to the audience right.
眼睛闭起来，
And then close your eyes.
低头，啊，
And then lower down your chin.
上心去。
眼睛先闭起来再说。
春意阑珊珊，落尽不耐无尽寒，梦里不知身是开。
they were known as descendants of the snakes, many of the groups. And this mean here is a gate with an insect inside, and this insect in traditional China actually referred more to snakes than to the crawly insects that we were dealing with these days. And in 说文解字 in this collection that explained about words during Han Dynasty, it actually said that the Min, it's a Yue people of the southeast, and they were descendants of the snakes, 蛇种. And man, which mean a man, were actually very much related in terms of the sound. The Man, again, Nanman, barbarians of the south, again are descendants of the snakes.
To my PPT now. And I went through a series of different jobs in China, and all of these jobs had to do primarily with media. And while I was doing these jobs, I also started to do things in the music industry. It was a passion because I liked music, and I was always doing music when I was growing up, and also because I had actually a degree in vocal arts from the University of Southern California, and I had studied the music industry, and I had worked in the music industry also on a pretty low level when I was at the firm. I left the firm to go and join MTV, and from there I worked in all sorts of Chinese media, including China radio station called CRI, China Radio International, and they have another affiliated station called Hit FM. I was always the maverick of these stations, so I was always doing something that the station manager didn't like, and as a result, I was always fighting with the station manager about keeping what I wanted to do exactly the way I want to do it. So I lost pretty much all of these jobs at one point or another and got rehired at one point or another. So I like to compare myself to a much more politically correct Howard Stern, because I think he got fired like 4 times.
Basis. So since then, China's own film industry has developed at a rapid, rather formidable pace, as I'm sure many of you are aware. And it's made lots of blockbusters of its own, or at least films that are classed as blockbusters based on a domestic performance. And most recently, this has been fantasy films like Monster Hunt and The Mermaid. However, this summer, just a few months ago, that all changed. So after several decades where action films like The Fugitive were a fixture and a mainstay, China finally made its own Hollywood-style action film in this movie, Wolf Warrior 2. This film's been a runaway success in China, where it grossed $870 million in that one territory alone. It's now the most successful film of all time at the mainland China box office. And it's the 3rd highest earning film in a single territory. The only 2 films ahead of it in single territory are Star Wars: The Force Awakens and Avatar, based on their performances here in the United States.